Alright, if you want your videos to go from this to this, then you need to know about lighting. And it's no secret that lighting is one of the most important things when it comes to shooting better content. So in this video, I wanted to break down the most classic setup, and that is 3-point lighting. And basically, 3-point lighting is when you set up 3 different lights around your subject. So 1 key light, 1 fill light, and 1 rim light. So let's break these 3 lights down, starting with the key light. So this will be your main light that is exposing you or your subject, and depending on where you place this will control the look of your shots. With that being said, the most common angle to place your key light is slightly off to the side at a 45-degree angle, and this is because it creates shadows on the opposite side of the face. This drop shadow can help add depth to your shots and will make your lighting look more cinematic. Also, when setting your key light to a 45-degree angle, we are able to capture the reflection of light in our subject's eyes, and this reflected light is called a catch light. So now for this shot, I'm using my Aperture 120D Mark II for my key light, and I've also added a softbox to help soften the light so it looks more pleasing on my face. And now if I turn this light off, you can see just how much of this scene is controlled by this one key light. But now some things to consider when picking up a key light for yourself is trying to get a light that allows you to control the brightness and color temperature. The first light I ever bought was the Aperture F7, which was about $100, and I paired it with a cheap umbrella softbox that I bought off of Amazon, and with this simple cheap setup, I was able to get shots that look like this. So depending on your budget, there are many different lighting options out there, and I've also linked a bunch of recommendations below. But now moving on to the next light within our 3-point lighting setup, and that is the fill light. So the fill light is typically placed across from your key light, and it's used to fill in some of the shadows that are caused from your key light. With that being said, I know many photographers and filmmakers who don't even use a fill light because they want that more dramatic look in their shots. So this is a personal preference and really comes down to what you like. But if we take a look at these 2 shots here, we can see the difference in the shadows, and that's just by using a fill light. And usually the fill light should be set to around 40% of your key light, but personally I've been using my 5-in-1 reflector whenever I need a fill light, and it's definitely been getting the job done. With that being said, for this shot, I'm actually just using my iMac screen that's set on a white page and with the brightness set to about 50%. So again, depending on your budget, there are many options when it comes to fill lights, so just get creative with it. But now moving on to the last pillar in our 3-point lighting setup, and that is the rim light. So the rim light is also known as the hair light, and the main purpose for this light is to separate your subject from the background. And we want to usually place this higher than our subject, but then angling the light down. So for this tutorial, I'm using a cheap light that I bought off of Amazon, and I've set it up to be slightly off to the side behind me, and I've used this magic arm that I have attached to a light stand to help angle the light down onto me. And if we look at these 2 shots here, we can see the difference we get when using a rim light. But there we have it. That is a breakdown of the classic 3-point lighting setup. And some bonus tips to keep in mind when using this lighting setup is to firstly make sure to turn off all the lights in the room you're shooting in, and be sure to close any curtains and block out any other light sources. And we do this because when working with artificial lighting, we want to be in total control of the light in our scene, and this will allow us to have a blank sheet when shaping the light in our shots. Another bonus tip to keep in mind is adding some type of ambient light to your scenes. So for example, for this shot, I've added a RGB tube light to create this blue light behind me. And since my skin is orange, I've easily created a color contrast with the background, which then helps add depth and that extra source to this shot. But with that being said, if you don't have an RGB light, you can use anything like a neon sign, a lamp, a computer, or anything that will bring visual interest to your backgrounds. But now, I appreciate you for making it this far in the video. If you found some value from it, hit the like and subscribe button on your way out, and be sure to check out the videos on the screen because they are what YouTube thinks you should watch next. Peace out.